Johnnie Walker Song of Ice, 40.2% ABV.
Johnnie Walker Song of Fire, 40.8% ABV. $50?
Let's check them out.
Hey guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on a Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. And what might it be, Andrew?
We have Johnnie Walkers.
The last time they pulled this stunt, they let me down.
Yeah, so Johnnie Walker, to kind of wrap up their entire Game of Thrones series, has put together the two kind of coordinating families of the final episode with Stark and Targaryen. And they released this collection of 2 bottles, roughly $50 each, the Song of Fire and the Song of Ice.
Right, and they're different ABVs. The Song of Ice is 40.2% ABV. Song of Fire is 40.8%. There's a little bit of difference on the juice that's in it. We know Johnnie Walker's a blended whiskey, right? And this is it's not a blended malt. This is a blended whiskey, which means we know there's grain in it. Don't know what grain, but we do know there's grain whiskey in it. The difference on the malted whiskey, though, is the Song of Ice has, Clynelish?
Yes.
And the Song of Fire has Caol Ila.
Caol Ila, yeah.
Right, so this is going to be peated.
Yes, there's a certain amount of peat in this one. And we don't know if that's the only peat is coming from Caol Ila or if there's additional peat coming from any of the grains or some other mix. So this is what we're going to find out.
Yeah,
so where do we want to start?
How about let's start with what a little bit of an expectation coming out of it. Where are we going to come out of the gate? Now let's back it up before these 2 bottles, and let's go back to the one that I mentioned the first time. This guy right here. What happened with this guy? The White Walker, right? So, you know, they had a whole Game of Thrones series, right? And those were from different distilleries. That was a cool set.
Yes. Now this one came out first.
This one came out before that and really wasn't a part of that set. Correct. But nevertheless, this one hit the shelves first. A lot of people got excited. I got excited. It's Johnnie Walker, and I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, right? The label's all cool and everything, and it turns blue, kind of like, you know.
Yeah, changes color and dries. But the first warning sign was, it's best served straight from the freezer.
Right. Ooh, wait a minute. What? You
don't drink Scotch straight from the freezer.
So, nevertheless, this one was not a hit. Honestly, I think this scored the worst of any Scotch we've ever reviewed.
Yes.
And that's saying a lot because we've been at it for over 4 years. So, I don't know what to expect out of this. I'm trying to come into this unbiased and not have this in the back of my mind. You had made a comment off camera before we started. You said, what was it? What do we have here?
Fireball and Rumplemints.
And I said, if this is Rumplemints, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so we're expecting a cinnamon whiskey here and a peppermint whiskey here. I don't think that's what they intended, but we're going to find out here.
Right, so I want to start with the ice because it's unpeated.
So, and the ice, now, to their credit, they did put on the label, best recommended with ice. So it could be, with an ice ball or something. They didn't recommend you put it in the freezer, so maybe that's an improvement, but we're going to find out here. So, you got to roll around the glass here to kind of really coat it, get the complete nose.
I think it's a cool bottle. I mean, I love, as a Game of Thrones fan, I'm digging that, but it really comes down to the juice. Now, for $50, a 40% ABV, non-age statement, I think
blended
they're already elevating that price just because it's Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean you're paying for the marketing, which that's whatever. That's okay. So the nose on this smells like a blended whiskey. There is nothing strong. I'm not getting much like acetone or anything like that out of it, like I think we got out of the White Walker.
It's actually pretty soft.
It is.
A little sweet.
Yeah, there's not much on the nose. There's definitely no alcohol burn.
I can smell the grain whiskey in it.
Yeah.
It smells a little green. All right, so we'll see what's going on with this.
Tastes green, tastes grassy.
Does it taste grassy?
Yeah. I mean, it is a blended whiskey, but my initial palate, I don't get anything that's really offensive or off on it. It's really light. It's really tender. There's not much punch in it. It's definitely not Johnnie. It's definitely not like a
black or anything.
Johnnie Black or red. It doesn't even have the potency flavor. They've really gone for a really light whiskey here.
Yeah. there's nothing really off. Like I'm trying to remember that White Walker and how off-putting it was when it hit my mouth. I was just like, oh my gosh, this was horrible. It's not. It's pleasant. It is. There's not a huge flavor punch. I get some sweetness. I do get some brine on the finish, some saltiness.
I'm getting a lot of. I mean, a lot of the grain flavors are coming out. That grassy hay, that kind of palate.
I'm actually
having a hard time finding malt.
Really? No, I was just going to say I can actually start to get a little bit of it, a little bit of heather.
Yeah, you got to kind of really coat your palate in it and really let the flavors kind of warm up. Quite honestly, to get those get that flavor out. That's a good blending whiskey. I think.
I'll be honest. The initial swallow, right? That finish, not that palate between the transition between the palate and the finish. It's pretty peppery. There's an edge there that is like a white pepper.
Yeah.
But so far, so good. I'm pleasantly surprised. Considering it's blue and it's ice and
it's just supposed to be under ice.
Yeah.
It's definitely not offensive. It's a way better presentation than the White Walker.
I really don't want to put much of this water on
and maybe
it.
we need to give it a second and come back to it right now.
Well, I hate to go into the fire because the fire we know is peated, and I really don't want that peat to influence, how I finish out on this whiskey. Wow, I'll be honest with you, Okay, that first nose, the water wasn't giving it much love, but it's starting to sweeten up.
It didn't change a whole lot in the palate when you added the water.
Didn't change much in the nose.
It's pretty well balanced because you're not having to pull from a single distiller. You have the ability to kind of balance all those different spirits together. Yeah.
All right, so you know what?
Give a score?
Sure. I'll talk my way through a number on it. I mean, I would say I'm going to start right down the center and say 2, just because it's you know what? Now, starting at 2 because it's that, but then thinking about a price point of $50 for a non-age statement
I
blend,
wouldn't pay that for it.
I can't justify it, folks. Now, you want to buy it because you're a Game of Thrones fan. You don't want to open it. You want to hold on to it for a long time, pass it down. I mean, I don't see this being a high collectible thing because they mass produce the heck out of it. But maybe you buy it because you're a Game of Thrones fan. You open it, you drink it, you hang on to the bottle because it's pretty cool. It looks cool in the bar anyway. Still, $50 is tough. So I don't want to beat it up and take it to a 1.5 for that. I'm going to give it the 2 for the juice alone. I thought the juice was literally just down. I mean, I can drink it. I'm not offended by it, but it doesn't wow me in any way.
Yeah, I think I will go with a 1.5 on it because the flavors are just real tame. There's nothing interesting in it. It is, I don't know. It's a Bacardi of rums. It's there. It tastes like whiskey, but it's just not. It's not something that I really would want. I mean, I wouldn't try and share this with friends. And say, hey, try my whiskey. This is one of those that if I have to put whiskey in something, maybe I use this. But at $50 a bottle, I wouldn't do it. I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
So what do we got going on here? Do you smell the peat? This has got Colila, right?
It does. Boy, it is not well. So yes, you can smell it's peated. Absolutely.
Really?
It's not heavily peated. It is it's not a smoky peat. I mean, it's not real light charcoal. It's Colila. I mean, you can tell that it's kind of got the seaweed brine kind of nose as opposed to
I think I got robbed.
Charcoal. What?
I said, I think I got robbed. Did you pour that in my glass?
Yeah, I even tipped the bottle so it'd get the neck pour out, and then poured mine first.
Boy, if there's peat in there, there's like 2 phenol.
Mm-hmm.
All 2 of them.
It's very lightly peated.
Okay.
It's a little better on the palate. It's got a little more peat, but it's also got, there's a little edge on there. I'm not particularly enjoying. I think it's the cinnamon in it. The cinnamon oil. No,
the cinnamon oil.
There's no cinnamon oil in this.
Okay, so yeah, on the palate, you get a hint, a flash of the peat. You're like, what was that? What was peat in there? Oh, where'd it go? It's gone. But there is an edge that's left in the finish.
Yeah. I'm not sure I like that. And I'm not sure what that is. Still dumb.
It's not going away though. It's lingering.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to get on the nose now. Almost an acetone. Now the key thing about really lightly peating is depending on the quality of the peat, you can get the unpleasant portions of peat without the pleasant portions of peat if you're not careful, because there's the chemicals that are in peat. That's why some people will completely roll their eyes at peat and some people will love it, because there are certain noses will pick certain chemicals, and if you hit the bad ones, it's bad.
And let's be honest, to say that there's Klein Leash or Colila in these bottles, you have no idea how much. I mean, they can literally put that much in the vat and say that it's in there, It's real. I don't even get peat on the nose hard. It's tough for me to pull it out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the grain is starting to overpower the peat in the palate. Grassy,
now that
grassy
one,
salt or hay. Straw.
Yeah, but I got a sweet malty right down the center of my palate on that, so that helped it. I'm not crazy about the finish. There's
not
a
quite
spicy
sawdust, but
no, but there's a spicy finish, and I know it's just because it's put in my head. It's biased. I'm looking at a red bottle. You've said,
cinnamon,
and so that's what's in the back of my head. And I'm like, well, why do I have cinnamon? But it's not. No. I gotta get off of that. Let me see what the water does to this.
Yeah. Ooh, that did not help the nose. Now I'm getting
40.8.
Yeah, it's 40%, 40.8%. So the water is going to take it down below my favorite percentage pretty easily, but it's okay.
All right, so what's going on?
So the nose, I get almost nothing anymore on the nose. Definitely don't get any peat in there.
Boy, it does kill the noise. It just
so my guess is the
it.
Colila content in here is significantly low. I'm not getting enough of that to really say, oh yeah, that's definitely Colila. Now I may have just said it earlier. I can tell when you first pour it and you get that first sip neat, and actually this bottle does recommend drinking it neat. It does not recommend putting ice on it, and I can see why, because it is better neat. It's got more of that.
Boy, it's just smashed. Just a couple drops of water just literally killed it.
Okay, you're essentially back to a neutral spirit now, neutral grain. So, I'll start off on this one. This one, I think, I'm going to have to go with a 1.5 on this one too. I think neat, it's better than the Song of Ice. Song of Fire is better than the Song of Ice. Neat. I think that there's a little, it's just a hint of peat in there, and you have to really look for it, and maybe you have to know it's even there to really appreciate it being there. With water, it dissolves, it goes away. I think that the Song of Ice maybe a little better with water, so maybe that's why they recommend putting ice in it. So I'm going to go with a 1.5 for both of these. They are, I think, overpriced for what they are, but they're not bad. They're just not really rich in flavor. Yeah, there's still a little bit of maltiness in that one. All right, so
I'm going to stay at 1.5 on the fire. I'm so disappointed that I know water on 40% is not really good, especially when they recommend it. But you got to put it on there to see what it does.
Yeah,
and the fact that it murdered it. I mean, there's just nothing left to it.
It murdered it.
And that's disappointing.
Boy, can I tell the difference?
Neat. It was probably a 2. Water knocked it down to a 1.5, and then you got to take the price point into fact too. So not to beat it up with the price. I think they're both overpriced. I think if you're going to pay the price point for them, you're getting them for the marketing, for the Game of Thrones aspect, for the cool looking bottle and whatnot. But you're definitely not paying $50 for the whiskey.
Yeah, funny thing is, I'm going back and I'm nosing both of the Song of Fire and Song of Ice, and I cannot smell a difference now. Maybe there's a little more like fruit apple on this Song of Ice. But man, it's bad. So.
Yeah, I can tell the difference. Okay, anyway, so honestly, I gave this guy a 2. It's a 1.5. You gave both of them 1.5. Not as bad as the White Walker.
No.
Woohoo, that's good news.
Yep.
Right. Nowhere near as good as probably some of those in the lineup.
Even the Johnnie Black, Johnnie Red, it has. So, if you go back and look at some of our previous reviews on the airport
Yeah, there's a
whiskey.
ton of Johnnie Walkers that are better than this,
Yes.
but that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the Game of Thrones marketing and the whole tie for it. So that's tough. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, yeah, you probably already have it. But
Yep.
I wouldn't go out of your way to get it for the juice that's inside. How's that?
Yep.
So
All right.
which one do you want to finish with here?
I'm going to finish with the Song of Fire because it has potential.
I'll finish with the Song of Ice since it's on my side. How
All
can
right.
they get a hold of us? Thursday nights,
Live every night,
We got
every Thursday.
subscribe, hit the bell because you want to know when we do stuff like that. Check us out on Patreon if you're interested
Discord?
in supporting us. Yep, we're on Discord. All of our patrons have access to our pre-shows and after-shows. We even have a podcast going on. So tune in, check us out. Andrew, Song of Fire,
Sanjay.
Song of Ice.